Ordinary human missed his galactic flight to save an elderly alien aware he controlled the airline. HFY the spaceport was alive with noise, lights, and rushing bodies. Ships roared overhead, their engines shaking the ground as they prepared to leap into hyperspace. Travelers shouted. Luggage carts beeped. Act! And the digital voice of the station reminded everyone to proceed to boarding gates on time. In the middle of it all ran Daniel Corrin, an ordinary human. Sweat covered his forehead, his heart pounding. As he clutched his ticket in one hand and his small bag in the other, this was his chance to escape Earth and start a new life among the stars. The galactic flight waiting at Gate 12 was not just a ship, was his hope for freedom, for work, for a future. If he missed it, he would lose everything. He pushed past. Aliens of every shape and size, weaving through the crowded terminal. The boarding screen was already flashing final call in bold red letters. Daniel gritted his teeth and sprinted faster. Could almost see the gate when something made him stop. Just ahead, an elderly alien had collapsed. The being was tall but frail, its skin pale and wrinkled like dry paper. Its breathing was weak, and its walking staff had rolled away. Many passengers glanced at the alien but ignored it, too focused on catching their flights. Daniel froze. Ow! Every second he delayed meant missing the ship. But as he stared at the aliens, trembling hands and gasping mouth, his conscience stabbed at him. He let out a sharp breath, turned away from the gate, and rushed toward the fallen stranger. "I've got you," Daniel muttered, dropping his bag and kneeling. He lifted the alien carefully, surprised by how light it was. The alien's large, glassy eyes locked onto his, filled with both pain and relief. "Thank you," the alien whispered in a weak voice. Daniel tried to smile, though panic twisted in his stomach. The gate doors hissed shut behind him. His ship was gone. His dream was slipping away. But then the world exploded. A massive fireball ripped through the docking area. The very ship Daniel was supposed to board erupted in flames, its metal hull torn apart like paper. Glass shattered, alarms blared, and the terminal shook as debris rained down. People screamed and ran in every direction. Daniel's ears rang. He shielded the alien with his body as fire rolled across the deck. 1,000 thoughts crashed through his head: fear, confusion, and disbelief. If he had been on that ship, he would be dead. The alien clutched his arm with surprising strength. Not accident. Attack. War coming. Daniel's mouth went dry. War? What are you talking about? Before the alien could answer, a new danger appeared. Armed figures stormed into the burning terminal. Their faces were hidden by masks, their weapons glowing with plasma energy. They fired without warning, cutting down both humans and aliens alike. Explosions shook the walls as bombs detonated in nearby corridors. "Move," Daniel shouted, dragging the alien into the smoke. He didn't know where he was going, only that staying meant death. They raced through half-collapsed passageways, stepping over rubble and bodies. Every corner brought new danger. Fire blocked one path, a bomb blast collapsed another. The air grew thick with smoke and fear. Finally, they ducked into a maintenance quarter. Daniel leaned against the wall, coughing hard. What's happening? Who are those people? The alien's gaze was steady, despite his frail frame. Not people, not rebels. Assassins, sent to kill me, and you. Daniel blinked in shock. Me? I'm nobody. The alien shook his head slowly. No, you are not nobody. You are the one they fear most. Daniel laughed bitterly, his nerves fraying. I'm just a mechanic from Earth. I was trying to start over. Why would assassins care about me? The alien hesitated, then leaned closer. Because you are not just a passenger. Carry a legacy you do not know. A legacy that controls the skies. Before Daniel could press for answers, heavy footsteps thundered down the corridor. The assassins had found them. Blaster fire scorched the walls as Daniel and the alien sprinted deeper into the station. Sparks rained from broken wires. One blast hit a fuel tank, triggering a violent explosion that hurled Daniel into a wall. His vision blurred. Through the haze, he saw the alien standing firm, raising his staff. A burst of strange, shimmering energy flared out, shielding them from incoming fire. But the effort left the alien trembling. "Go," the alien urged, his voice weak. "You must live. They cannot kill you here. Too much depends on you." Daniel pulled him along, refusing to abandon him. They stumbled into a hangar bay, where emergency ships were evacuating survivors. Above, the sky was filled with chaos. Massive alien warships were already descending through the atmosphere, their cannons glowing. Human defense fighters scrambled to intercept them. The war had begun. As Daniel stared at the fiery skies, the alien whispered words that froze his blood. "The galaxy burns because of lies. My people blame yours. Yours blame mine. But it is not humans or aliens who started this. It is those who fear you. They planted the bombs. They lit the fire. They want war to hide the truth." Daniel shook his head, still struggling to believe. "Why me? Why target me?" The alien placed a trembling hand on his chest. "Because whether you know it or not, the Galactic Airline is yours. Every ship, every route, every starport, they obey your bloodline. You were never meant to be a passenger. You are the master of the skies." Daniel's mind reeled. He wanted to deny it, to call it madness. But deep inside, something stirred a memory of his parents whispering strange warnings when he was a child, of mysterious symbols on papers. They kept hidden of men in dark suits, who once asked about him. Before he could respond, a deafening explosion tore open the hangar roof. Enemy ships dropped soldiers into the bay. Civilians screamed as the assassins charged forward again. Plasma bolts flew past Daniel's head. He grabbed a fallen blaster from the ground and fired wildly, hitting one attacker. The alien elder staggered beside him, whispering, "You cannot run forever. You must choose. If you claim your power, fleets will follow you. If you do not, billions will die in the war to come." Daniel gritted his teeth, his hands shaking as he fired again. He didn't understand the legacy, the power, or the truth behind the alien's words. But he knew one thing. He could not stay ordinary anymore. Outside the hangar, space itself burned. Alien warships exchanged fire with human fleets. Cities below glowed like torches as bombs rained down. The first battle of a new galactic war had begun, and in the middle of it, one ordinary human who had missed his flight stood at the edge of a destiny greater than he could imagine. Cliffhanger, as assassins closed in from both sides. Daniel looked up through the shattered roof. A massive fleet blinked into existence. Dozens of colossal starliners and warships materializing from hyperspace. Their comm systems crackled to life, broadcasting a single message to him, awaiting your command, controller. The Galactic Hub was the largest spaceport in the solar system. Its towers stretched toward the stars, glowing with lights of every color. Thousands of humans and aliens filled its vast halls, rushing to catch their ships. The air hummed with voices, laughter, and the deep roar of engines preparing for launch. Among the crowd was Ethan Vey, an ordinary human from Earth. He was not rich, not powerful. He was just a mechanic who worked long hours fixing broken machines. This flight was supposed to be his escape. He had saved for years to afford the ticket. The ship waiting at Gate 27 would take him across the galaxy to a mining colony where jobs and a new life waited. He ran, clutching his ticket tightly. His heart pounded as the boarding screen flashed final call, just a few more steps. And he would finally be free of his old life. But then, something happened that changed everything. An elderly alien stumbled in front of him. The creature's skin was gray and wrinkled, its body frail and bent with age. It dropped its cane and fell to the floor. Passengers brushed past, too busy to help. Ethan froze. His flight was seconds from departure. He could run past the alien, or he could stop. For one painful moment, Ethan hesitated. Then he sighed, bent down, and lifted the alien carefully to its feet. The alien's large, tired eyes met his. "Thank you," it whispered. Ethan forced a smile. "No problem. You're okay now." But he was not okay. As he turned to run toward the gate, the doors hissed shut. His ship was sealed. The countdown began. His chance to escape was gone. A sharp ache filled his chest. All those years of saving wasted. His dream of a new life had slipped away, and then the world shook. A massive explosion tore through the boarding docks. Ethan's ship, his ship erupted into a ball of fire and debris. Glass shattered, alarms wailed, and the floor trembled beneath his feet. The blast wave knocked people to the ground. Screams filled the air. Ethan's mind went blank. If he had been on that flight, he would have died. The alien he had helped clutched his arm with surprising strength. Its voice was low, but urgent. Not accident. Attack. Enemies move. War begins. Before Ethan could ask what that meant, dark figures stormed into the ruined terminal. They wore masks and armor, their weapons glowing with energy. Without warning, they opened fire. Plasma bolts cut through the panicked crowd. Civilians fell screaming as smoke filled the air. Ethan's instincts took over. He dragged the alien with him, running through the chaos. Explosions thundered around them. One blast shattered the ceiling, raining fire and sparks. Ethan shielded the alien with his body as the corridor collapsed behind them. They finally ducked into a side passage. Lungs burning. Ethan pressed his back to the wall, chest heaving. Who are they? Why are they doing this? The alien's gaze was heavy. Assassins. Sent to kill me. And you. Ethan's voice cracked. Me. I'm nobody. The alien shook its head slowly. No, you are not nobody. You are the heir of the Skyways. Ethan blinked, stunned. The what? Before the alien could explain, footsteps thundered closer. The assassins were hunting them. Ethan grabbed the alien and pulled him deeper into the maintenance tunnels. The spaceport shook with fresh explosions. Smoke and fire spread like waves. Every direction seemed blocked. They stumbled into a shattered cargo bay, where flames licked the walls. The alien coughed, gripping Ethan's shoulder. Listen, you must survive. They want you dead because if you live, you can stop them. Your bloodline. It holds power over the fleets. Over the airline that spans the stars. Ethan's head spun. You're saying, I own spaceships? The alien nodded. Not only ships, routes, gates, worlds, the Galactic Airline is yours. It was hidden, but your enemies know. If you rise, they fall. That is why they kill. Before Ethan could process the words, an explosion rocked the bay doors. The assassins burst through, firing blasts that ripped the floor apart. Ethan dove behind cover, pulling the alien with him. His hand landed on a fallen guard's weapon. Without thinking, he fired back. The plasma bolt struck an attacker, sending him crashing into the wall. The alien's voice was urgent. You cannot run forever. War spreads already. My people prepare fleets. Humans prepare armies. They blame each other for these bombs. Soon, cities will burn. Only you can stop it. Ethan swallowed hard. He had no training, no power, no reason to believe any of this. But he had no choice. Survival was all that mattered. He fired again, forcing the assassins back long enough to escape through another passage. They ran into a wide atrium. Through the shattered glass ceiling, Ethan saw the sky. His breath caught in his throat. Alien warships were descending through the atmosphere, their cannons glowing red. Human defense fleets scrambled to intercept them. The space above Earth was already on fire. The war had begun. All around him, terrified civilians screamed. Emergency ships launched from the hangars, desperate to escape. Ethan stood frozen, staring at the burning heavens. The alien elder whispered, his voice thin, You must claim your right. If you speak the command, the fleets will obey. You are the master they wait for. Ethan shook his head, overwhelmed. I'm just a mechanic. I fix broken engines. I'm no commander. The alien's eyes locked on his, then learn fast. Because if you do nothing, both humans and aliens will be destroyed. Suddenly, the atrium doors burst open. Assassins stormed in from every side. Plasma blasts ripped through walls and glass. Civilians fell in terror. Ethan raised his weapon, firing back. He could feel his fear boiling into anger. He wasn't ready to lead fleets, but he was ready to fight. As the battle raged, the station shook again. Above them, a massive shadow blotted out the burning sky. A fleet of enormous starliners and warships blinked into existence, tearing through hyperspace into orbit. Their sheer size dwarfed the human and alien forces battling nearby. The assassins froze for a brief moment, fear flashing in their eyes. Ethan's comm device crackled suddenly with a message. A calm, mechanical voice spoke. "Skyway Fleet Alpha has arrived. Awaiting command, Controller." Ethan's blood turned cold. The alien elder smiled faintly, his strength fading. "It begins. The fleets are yours." Ethan stood in shock, staring up at the sky filled with fire and steel. A war had begun, and he was at its center. He was no longer just a mechanic, no longer just a passenger. He was the heir of the skies, and the galaxy was waiting for his choice. Cliffhanger, as assassins closed in. Human warships clashed with alien fleets, and the mysterious Skyway fleet hovered above all eyes, turned to Ethan. The ordinary human who had missed his flight, but now held the fate of two civilizations in his hands. The galactic spaceport was alive with motion and sound. Thousands of passengers hurried through glowing corridors, each one chasing their own dreams across the stars. Ships thundered on launch pads, preparing to leap into hyperspace. Loud announcements echoed from the speakers, warning travelers not to miss their departures. In the middle of this chaos stood Lucas Wren, a human from Earth. He was not a hero, not a soldier, not rich or powerful. He was just a man searching for a chance to escape poverty. The ticket in his pocket was everything his way to leave his broken life behind and start. Fresh on a distant world, his heart raced as he ran toward Gate 9. The screen above the door already flashed final boarding in harsh red letters. If he missed this flight, his dream would vanish. But fate had other plans. Just as Lucas reached the gate, an elderly alien stumbled into his path. The alien was tall but frail, with pale, wrinkled skin and trembling hands. Its cane slipped from its grasp, and its body collapsed heavily to the floor. Passengers rushed past without looking back. No one stopped. Lucas froze, torn between desperation and compassion. If he helped, he would miss his ship. If he ignored the alien, he could escape to a better life. His chest tightened. Then, with a curse under his breath, he dropped his bag and knelt beside the alien. "Hold on," he muttered, lifting the fragile body gently. The alien's breathing was shallow, its eyes filled with pain. "You are kind," the alien whispered weakly. But kindness had a price. The gate doors hissed shut. His ship was gone. His escape had slipped away. Lucas's heart sank. Then the spaceport shook. A deafening explosion ripped through the boarding platform. The very ship Lucas had been racing for erupted in a ball of fire, its hull torn apart by hidden charges. The blast waves smashed windows, hurled debris, and sent screaming passengers to the ground. Lucas shielded the alien as flames licked across the deck. He realized with cold horror that if he had boarded that flight, it would now be nothing but ash. The alien clutched his arm, voice trembling. "This is only the beginning. War is coming." Before Lucas could ask, shadows appeared through the smoke. Armed figures in black armor stormed the terminal. Their faces were hidden by masks, and their weapons glowed with deadly energy. Without hesitation, they opened fire. Bolts of plasma ripped through the panicked crowd. Civilians screamed and fell. Lucas's heart pounded. He grabbed the alien and ran. Explosions followed them, shaking the walls. A ceiling beam crashed down behind them. Cutting off the assassin's pursuit for the moment, they stumbled through shattered corridors filled with fire and smoke. Lucas's lungs burned, and the alien's weight slowed him, but he refused to let go. Finally, they collapsed against a maintenance hatch. Lucas coughed hard. "What is happening? Who are those people?" The alien's eyes gleamed faintly in the flickering light. "Not people. Hunters. They come for me. And for you." Lucas shook his head. "Me. I'm nobody. Why would anyone care about me?" The alien's voice grew urgent. because you are not nobody. You are heir to power greater than fleets, greater than empires. You are the one they fear. Lucas's breath caught. That's insane. I'm just a man who missed his flight. But the alien only gave a sad, knowing smile. The corridor shuddered violently as a new blast tore through the station. The assassins were close again. Lucas pushed forward, dragging the alien through collapsing tunnels. At one point they leaped over a gap where the floor had been blasted open, fire roaring below when they reached a wide hangar. The sight froze Lucas's blood. Above the planet, the war had already begun. Alien warships descended through the clouds, their cannons glowing red. Human defense fleets launched from orbit, firing back with nuclear missiles. The skies burned as battles erupted in every direction. Cities below were already aflame. The alien elders spoke through the thunder. This is no accident. Both sides are being pushed to fight. They blame each other for the bombs. But it is a lie. The real enemy hides in the shadows. Lucas stared at the burning heavens. What does this have to do with me? The alien turned to him, voice heavy with truth. Because the skies themselves belong to you. The Syndicate of the Air, like every starliner, every route, every gate, was built by your bloodline. You were hidden, but they know. If you rise, you control the travel of empires. If you rise, you control the future of war. Lucas staggered back, disbelief twisting his face. That's impossible. I'm poor. I fix broken machines. My parents died with nothing. But deep in his memory, old fragments stirred documents his parents had hidden. Strange symbols burned onto the back of his childhood ID, warnings whispered by strangers who had once come asking about him. He had always ignored them. Now they made terrible sense. Before he could speak, the hangar roof exploded. Assassins poured in, their weapons blazing. Lucas grabbed a fallen guard's rifle and fired wildly, forcing them back. Plasma bolts ripped into the walls around him, sparks raining down. The alien, though weak, raised his hand. Energy shimmered in the air, forming a shield against incoming blasts. His voice trembled. You cannot run forever. You must choose hide and die, or rise and lead. Lucas clenched his teeth. Fear burned inside him, but so did anger. He had lost his ship, his escape, and now he was hunted for reasons he barely understood. If he truly had power, he would not run anymore then, through the burning roof. Something vast appeared. A fleet of colossal starliners blinked into orbit, emerging from hyperspace. They dwarfed the alien and human warships, their silver hulls glowing like suns. Dozens of them, maybe hundreds, hung in the void above Earth. The assassins froze, terror flickering in their eyes. Suddenly a voice crackled through the emergency comms in the hangar. It was cold, mechanical, and undeniable. Skyway Fleet Prime has arrived. Awaiting command. Controller. Lucas's weapon shook in his hands. The alien elder smiled faintly, his strength fading. The fleets wait for you. The galaxy waits for you. Lucas looked up at the endless ships. The assassins still advanced. War raged in the skies. He was no longer just an ordinary human. He was something more. Cliffhanger, as the assassins closed in. Human fleets clashed with alien armadas, and the mysterious Skyway fleet hovered above. Every system awaiting his order, Lucas realized the fate of two civilizations now rested in his hands.